there. Joining me right now to break it all down or up, criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool. Good to see you, Brian. Thank you very much. First, let's talk a little bit about him possibly taking the fifth. And I want to get to what the judge was saying. That was a very big deal in just a moment. But Giuliani's saying, look, we can take the fifth in this case. Would you advise that?
Well, at this point, I would, because it's now becoming more apparent that this is a potential witch hunt. You know, a couple months ago, I would have said, well, wait a minute, you know, Trump needs to be forthright. He might have to comply with a subpoena. But if I'm advising him now, and if you look at the Michael Cohen raid, I mean, privileged documents are raided and seized. And now you've got a federal judge saying, well, wait a minute, I don't even think you had authority to go out and get these documents that you're using to indict and prosecute Paul Manafort. It really, truly is looking like this is a politically motivated witch hunt by Mueller. Therefore, what does President Trump have to gain if he testifies? And Trish, what he can do now is he could just spin this in his favor now and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm not testifying because this is not a fair playing field and I'm the victim.
Well, I mean, look, I realize there's a lot of emotion here, right? And it's, in some ways, that's perhaps the problem. People angry that Hillary Clinton didn't win, and you look at like the text messages between Lisa and Peter, right? And the back and forth there, and it's clear that people's opinion of this president has interfered with, I would say, the normal process. I mean, the federal judge even pointing this out, right? That in other words, they're out there trying to get information on Mueller just to hopefully lead them to something with Trump. And they don't even care about the information, as he made the point with Mueller. And that's the danger, isn't it, Brian?
That's a great, it is, but it's a reality, too. And I think you're right. I mean, I think the judge was out of bounds for injecting his political views, but I think he had every right to say, hey, look, do you really have the authority pursuant to this scope memo? But getting to your bigger point, I think really what we're seeing here is President Trump hired really Giuliani not to really modify his legal strategy. He has Giuliani out there campaigning for him. This is a political move, a political strategy, and unfortunately, this Russian probe is being adjudicated in the court of public opinion and not in a courtroom and not through a subpoena. And I think that's why Giuliani's out there doing what he's doing.
Well, but Giuliani confused a lot of people, right, Brian? I mean, he's out there saying, okay, the president paid the Stormy Daniels money out of his own pocket, and then it's sort of like, oh, no, wait, he didn't know about it. Which is it? Or maybe this is the goal.
Well,
maybe you just throw enough confusion into the process that people say, ugh.
Exactly.
I'll believe whatever I want to believe.
Right. Well, let's talk about both. Did Rudy Giuliani do the right thing by saying that, oh, well, yeah, President Trump, yeah, he did repay back $130,000. And then they leak. Remember, they leaked the 49 questions that Mueller was going to ask. I thought that was another big mistake as well. So I think in terms of a legal strategy, Trish, if you break it down, bad move, that horrible move, because think about it, if you're Mueller now. I mean, this is a political epic 12-round fight, but it's being held in a legal arena, and Mueller's going to say, well, screw you now. I'm going to subpoena you and have you come in because you just lied. So that's on the legal part. But politically speaking, I think what they're doing is they're trying to build this momentum of the fact that Trump is truly the victim here, that he is the subject of a witch hunt.
Is it working?
I think, you know, a couple months ago, I would have told you it's not working. But now I think with the judges coming out and saying, hey, wait a minute, you're trying to use, you know, evidence from Manafort to get to Trump. I think it is working in the court of public opinion, Trish. Okay. I hate to say that, but I think it really is.
Well, you know, there are a lot of questions. I mean, by the way, and I brought them up. I think it's working, but I've had these questions from the beginning, Brian. I mean, going right back to how they got that FISA memo, with their ability to do the wiretap. My frustration as well in all of this has been Comey's not caring, for example, where that dossier came from, where it was funded, who funded it, and never bothering to tell the president who funded it. I mean, there's a lot of weird things here, and I think it's fair to be asking these questions because, look, our founding fathers were very, very smart men, and I say men, all of them were very smart men, and they put together a framework that is supposed to be serving us in these situations. And if we're not careful, we're going to have some kind of constitutional crisis on our hands. That's for sure. Brian, thank you very much. Good to have you here. Turning right now to the markets. They're not worried about that kind of thing, which is